life's party, life's always a party. Let's go.
Yo, what's going on? How we doing out there today?
We
drinking, baby. It's a drinking show. Ryan's got his Bud Light, as
You know why
always.
I'm drinking? Because I'm scared for my life, Paul.
Why?
Because, okay, so first of all, what we do as podcasters is we look at other podcasters, right? That's the best way to learn is to watch other podcasts. Just like if you're an athlete, you watch other athletes post moves, if you're like Joel Embiid, and you try to figure out how you can be better at what your job is.
Yeah, you got to watch other people who excel in your field, right?
So who's one of the best podcasters out right now? Biggest contract?
Oh, Joe Rogan, of course, right?
So I sat down and watched the Joe Rogan Experience, and he's talking to Elon Musk. And this is the first time I actually listened to Elon Musk talk.
Great guy. Love that guy.
He's a strange guy. Like, he is very strange. He creeps me the fuck out. That's what he does.
He's a little odd individual. Why? What'd he do?
So he starts talking about AI, okay? Not Allen Iverson, for all you Sixers fans. He's not talking. Elon Musk's not talking about the answer, okay? He's talking about AI, artificial intelligence. And I didn't know much about this, but he came on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he's like, "Yeah, I warned everybody about AI. I warned everybody about these robots. I had a meeting with Barack Obama. I warned him. I had a meeting with the Congress. I warned him. But no one's listening to me." He's like, "I keep trying to warn people about artificial intelligence, but no one's listening." And it freaked me the fuck out. Like, are robots going to come and take over the world, Paul?
I'm curious to see where we're at in the next, 10 years, especially with the advancements of robots. I mean, dude, have you seen the, the little, robot dogs who can, jump?
Oh, they used to have those back in the day.
Yeah, no, not like a toy. It's more like from NASA and stuff. It's a robot dog. He can jump. You see the ones that can fight?
Yeah.
If you, push him over, he'll fight.
Right.
So it's just really interesting. I mean, Elon Musk is an interesting dude.
But he's like, "I'm warning everyone. I'm warning Obama. I'm warning the government. And no one's listening to me."
Was that the one?
Someone listened to Elon Musk. He's the smartest guy in the world. And he said robots are going to take over. And he's saying how we're not going to be able to control what they're able to do.
No, I mean, you're not. Once they have, AI is artificial intelligence, once they have their own thought process, just like you and I, and they're a lot stronger than us, maybe they can surf the web, they can change their body, they can take over machines. We're going to start
It's
the
like
show
a soda
off.
machine, coming alive and attacking you.
Starting the show off.
Starting the show off. Starting the show off.
Definitely not sharting today. At least, hopefully. I mean, I don't know. We're drinking later, so maybe I get a little.
All right.
Maybe we get a good night of drinking ahead of us. But starting the show off, good pace. Was that the show where he was Elon Musk smoked weed on the show?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Joe Rogan's well, Joe Rogan's always smoking weed. He was drinking Bud Light with Post Malone on the show. So hopefully we're gonna have some guests soon. We got new mics. Sounds perfect.
Yeah, mics sound good.
We're becoming the real deal. So let's get into the show, Paul. That's what the people want. People don't want to hear about artificial intelligence and how robots are gonna beat us up and
definitely not
go to our extinction.
The first block. What do we got here, Ryan?
So we're starting the show. We're gonna talk some of the craziest shit that's inside celebrities' homes.
Dude, I'm so excited about this.
Some of these, you'll be like, "What the fuck? Why do they have that in their house?"
It's what people do when you have that sort of money. When you have a limited amount of money, sometimes it doesn't become fun anymore, but they're rich enough where the money is very fun to them.
Oh, yeah.
That, I mean, most of the stuff, if I had that money, I mean, you'd put it in your house for sure.
All right, so the first celebrity we're going to talk about is Lady Gaga.
Okay.
Apparently, she has one of the best bowling alleys around. Better than 30 Strikes around here.
Okay, yeah. Have you ever seen the President's Bowling Alley? There's
there is a bowling alley
in the White House. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised. I wouldn't think Lady Gaga would be a bowler.
Yeah, so apparently, okay, so her mansion is $23 million. And inside that $23 million mansion is a 1960s era 2-lane bowling alley, Paul.
That's cool.
So a lot of people have basketball courts in their houses, big pools, maybe pool tables, but this is an actual bowling alley. And we have a picture of it. It looks so dope. It even has 2 lanes, so I guess you could play, I don't know, how many people in a lane? 4 each? Eight people at a time?
Yeah, usually I think you put 6 in a lane. That's a normal bowling alley. But I mean, the retro stuff is so cool.
I like that it's a retro bowling alley.
That's what makes it look fancier. You know what I mean? If you did a modern style bowling alley, it would just look like every other modern.
Yo, I'm going bowling. Where you going? I'm going to Lady Gaga's house. Bad Romance. I had a bad romance. But also in her house, her $23 million mansion, is this great bowling alley. She has a wine cellar, a theater, a wet bar. What is a wet bar, Paul? Do you even know what that is?
Yeah, it's
I don't.
It's a bar. So it's basically a bar, but it has a sink connected to it. So you can have ice, and you put It's just connected.
What's the difference between a wet bar and a regular bar?
Most bars are wet bars, but if it's not,
What's a dry bar?
It just doesn't have a sink, so you can't get ice.
I'm really stupid. That was stupid. I knew that.
So it's dry, no ice.
Wow,
You know
that
what I mean?
makes sense. Well, they made it seem like such a cool thing. It has a movie theater and a wet bar. Holy shit, a wet bar. Well, you have a sink in your bar, Lady Gaga?
No, but yeah, I mean, we're looking at the photo. We can flash it up here on YouTube as well. It's just a very cool bowling alley. I mean, I'm a big fan of bowling. You know what's really fun?
What?
Getting drunk and going bowling. That's one of my favorite pastimes. It's going to be something that I'm going to love for years to come.
Is that one of the sports for you where when you get drunk, do you become better at bowling?
I do, for sure.
Like when I'm
120%.
out golfing, I'll get like hammered. I'll get smacked up. And then I'll hit the fairway. And it's just like the more shots, the more beers I have while playing golf, the better I get.
Well, that's the thing with a lot of these sports. I mean, especially golf, because golf can be, super stressful. That if you're, a little relaxed, you got some liquor and you got some beer and you just hit the ball. You're not as tense. You know what I mean?
Are you a spin guy in bowling? Or
No.
are you a straight guy?
Dude, straight guy. Straight guy here.
Straight guy.
Straight as an arrow, but I...
Bumpers? Bumpers or no bumpers?
It depends how drunk we get. You know what I mean? Maybe you had a few pitchers. But that's the best thing with the bowling alley. We like to go up here, 30 Strikes in Stratford, if you know it. Shout out to them. If you know it, shout out to them. But they... I think like Tuesday night, or used to before the pandemic, they had like dollar night on Tuesday night, and you get a pitcher for like $5 or $4 you get a pitcher. It's about 5 beers. Dude, I'm taking 5 beers for $5 any day of the week. Give me that full pitcher. I'm going to take it, have my lane, and just get a little drunk, do some bowling.
One last thing on bowling alleys. Well, do you want one in your house, first of all? Would you take a bowling alley in your house? I definitely would. I would like to have a bowling alley in my house.
I wanted a bowling alley more in my house when I was younger. I feel like it's not a necessity anymore. It used to be.
Then I saw something on Twitter, last thing, is that there was like a Twitter thread about saying what's some of the craziest shit we did before the pandemic that we would never do again. And some girl was like, when you go bowling, you pick up a dirty bowling ball that you've never used before. Other people have used it all day, not even all day, all past years.
Yeah.
A dirty bowling ball that's not yours. Then you pick that ball up and you roll it down the aisle. You come back, what do? You have some pizza, you have some nachos.
Nachos, dude. Yeah, that's...
Licking all over the nacho. You just rolled a ball that 8 million people just touched.
Yeah, that's definitely...
That's like some shit. It's like, holy shit, we did that before the pandemic.
People think about stuff like that too, where your shoes. That's why a lot of people don't use the shoes. Like they'll get a pair from the desk, but then they'll pull it out and they'll like use your own shoes. I've been doing that a lot. Like recently, I was using my own shoes. I'm trying to think too. Like arcades are always so different too.
Yeah, arcades too. I see people in arcades now still. Like, are you nuts?
Well, there was a Dave & Buster's that just opened by us. I thought nobody would be in there. We went on a Sunday.
No one will be in there. He goes. Paul goes.
I like Dave & Buster's. And I guess a lot of other people do because that place was jamming.
All right, so that's enough of the bowling alley. Lady Gaga, bowling alley. We should go to Lady Gaga's house.
Yeah.
Okay, what's next?
Next one, we got the GOAT or one of the GOATs.
No, he's not the GOAT.
One of the GOATs, depending on who you think. We got Michael Jordan. What's he do for a living?
Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
He played basketball. So, of course, he's got a nice indoor basketball court at his house.
Like, you expect him to have a basketball court in his house.
Dude, why wouldn't you? He's the best.
Does Michael Phelps have a pool in his house?
There's no doubt he does. He's got to where he's probably got one of those swimming things.
He's probably sick of swimming nowadays. He's probably like, I swam enough. I don't want to come through the water any longer.
Maybe. I'm afraid of all water now.
What's MJ got with his special? Isn't the Jumpman logo on his? That's so dope.
So we got Michael Jordan's house. It's worth $14.85 million. He's got an indoor basketball court with his Jumpman logo in the middle, of course, right?
Dude, that's so badass. Here's my basketball court in my house with my Jumpman logo right in the middle.
With my logo right in the middle.
That's sick.
Some of the rest of the things that he has in his house, he's got a putting green. You got to get that putt game.
He's a big golfer.
Oh, he is.
Big golfer.
Got to make sure your stroke game is good, right?
Okay.
Got to make sure.
Kid show.
He's got a tennis court. I don't know why he's playing tennis.
Okay.
He's got a gym. Got to stay fit, of course. I think most celebrities with that type of money, you would have in the gym.
Yeah.
You don't want to go to the public gym. If you're a celebrity.
I think most celebrities, one of their first purchase is probably like a home gym.
Yeah.
Good purchase.
Movie theater, of course. I feel like everyone would have that.
He's got to watch Space Jams.
He's got to just watch his own film. His one film.
Or you can watch like old games.
Yeah. He's got humidor smoking room, so he loves to smoke. And he
Big
always,
cigar guy. See, like all these things that you're listing, it's like Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
It's like it's him. He likes to smoke cigars. He played basketball. He likes to golf. Like it's just Michael Jordan. Like he's just like, you know what? Here's all the shit I love. Let's put it in my fucking house.
Yeah.
I'm like a little big kid that I get to have all the money in the world. Just bring all the fun to me, you know?
Most of the photos, I mean, we watched. I was watching The Last Dance recently, right? His like limited series.
Yeah.
And I didn't know much, about Michael Jordan, especially like in the locker room stuff. And he always had a cigar. Like he had a big game. He won the NBA Finals. Like I think cigars. I didn't realize how big cigars were for like a championship mentality.
Yeah, it's like the first thing players do is when they win a championship, you'll see Steph Curry or Wardell Curry with the cigar. I'm always like, Mom, I want to have a cigar. She's like, no, it's so bad for you. I'm like, Michael Jordan just won 6 rings and he's smoking a cigar. LeBron just won another championship. He's smoking a cigar. Look at his body. Why can't I have a cigar, Mom?
It's like a celebratory thing. You know what I mean?
It is. I think that's kind of, it is.
And to finish out his property, Michael Jordan has a wine cellar, of course, an infinity pool. So that's something.
I want an infinity pool. Those are so dope.
You look, if you know what they are, they're basically like the water looks like it runs off the pool and it's like floating almost.
Though I'm scared I'm going to fall out. I feel like it's a danger hazard. You don't think it's a danger hazard?
Nah, just a piece of glass. And then there's like an overflow area.
No, there is no glass.
On the side.
No, there's not. Not always. There's always. It's like literally a ledge off. I think.
Yeah, and that's made out of glass.
I don't think so. I
like
think you could actually like fall off the building.
And his property is 7.5 acres.
Well, his house actually went up for sale. Like he was selling it. So like, who would want to buy? I mean, I guess.
I think a lot of people would.
I think it went up for sale that no one was buying it. I guess because maybe it was too personalized to Michael Jordan. It's kind of weird.
I mean,
to buy someone else's house where it's like all evolved around them.
Everything in this list, a putting green, tennis court, gym, movie theater, that's normal. Wine cellar, of course. The pool's cool.
Yeah, I guess.
The only thing I would change is that logo. Or like that.
I don't even know if you would change that.
But I mean, I think that's cool. Be like, hey, like this was Michael Jordan's house. I'm gonna keep his basketball court.
Do you think we have enough money from his podcast to buy it? Or soon, maybe?
Maybe like 5 years, 10
5
years.
years. Okay, that works.
Michael Jordan had to put in work. We're putting in the work right now.
Okay.
And then we'll buy his stuff.
Fair enough. All right, we're going to the next one. We're going to a nutty guy, a really nutty guy.
It's a great guy.
Mike Tyson. All right, what does he have in his house? So he bought a solid gold bathtub that was $2 million, Paul. And I looked up an image of it. It's like not even all that.
No.
It looks like I could fucking build it.
Have you seen the recently? I don't know if you could build a bathtub, but have you seen the new food that people are buying? Like Mr. Beast, we talk about it on the show. Dude, so what they'll do is it's like $100,000 ice cream. They'll put gold leaves on it. They got pizza. There's like gold. It's with gold chicken wings. It's all gold. It's like edible gold, and the chicken wings are like $50,000.
So apparently this tub is 24 karat gold.
Yeah, some nice gold. You got Mike Tyson's got some good taste.
I heard that's where Bruno Mars got his song from.
24 karat. He was taking a bath.
24 karat Mike Tyson's bathtub.
Maybe Mike Tyson has a nice photo of him in the bath.
Okay.
Chilling. He saw it on social media. Influenced the song.
Okay. And this is what he's most known for Mike Tyson's purchases. He's most famous for his purchase 2 Bengal tigers.
Yes, I know that. Yes.
Which cost him $150,000.
One of my favorite movies. I know probably one of your favorite movies. The Hangover, right?
We're actually going to talk about it later in the show.
Okay, so we are. So The Hangover, they sneak into Mike Tyson's house. They sneak into Mike Tyson's house, and I think Phil, the guy who Ed Helms plays, he like gets woken up by a tiger. Zach Galifianakis, I think, gets like woken up.
Then Alan's pissing in the bathroom, and then there's a tiger in there, and he gives it like a second look. He's like, holy shit, there's a tiger in the bathroom.
That's what happened. They stole the tiger. They stole the tiger from Mike Tyson's house, so... I guess it's in Vegas if it plays in that movie.
Here's one thing. I would not want to break into Mike Tyson's house. Not only do you have, like, if I were to break into Mike Tyson's house, not only do I have to deal with Mike Tyson, the heavyweight champ, but I have to deal with 2 Bengal tigers.
Yeah, Mike Tyson is going to knock you out.
I don't know who I'm more scared of, Mike Tyson or the Bengal tigers that he's the father of.
I think one would knock you out cold. One might take a limb off. So, I mean, you can take your chances. Whatever you feel is better, you're better settled
Tyson would
that
knock
day.
me out, and then the Bengals would just eat me for dinner. I guess I was going to say, they don't stay in the house. The Bengals.
I guess. I mean, maybe they're like...
No shot. Look, we have a picture of him fucking walking at one of them.
Imagine
Was he just walking around the block with his Bengal tiger?
just take your tiger out on a leash. That's a normal stroll. You know?
Yeah, dude, get out of here. Speaking of animals, what's our next one, Paul?
Next one is Paris Hilton. She loves her dogs. I think.
You think? You think she loves them?
Very, very much loves her dogs.
I mean, many people do, but she's on another level.
Another level of that stereotypical, like, blonde girl who loves her small dogs, right? So this is what she has in her house. Paris Hilton has a replica mansion. So her mansion is a little replica, but just for her dogs. So she has 2 of her house on her property. The house overlooks her pool, so obviously her dog, and it's just for her dogs. So she has a nice view for her dogs, and this is what her dog house includes. Her dog house includes has 2 floors. It's got some designer furniture in it.
What? Designer furniture?
Why does a dog need the furniture? Whatever. Obviously, it's got central heating and air. So
obviously.
dogs are cool and warm in the summer. It's got a spiral staircase. I don't know how much they're walking upstairs.
Well,
but,
why wouldn't it have a spiral staircase?
and of course, just like Paris, she's got a big closet, got all those clothes. The
yeah.
dogs have their private closet in their house, and the house is actually worth $325,000. So more than most people's houses.
Way more. Like $325,000 for a dog house. That's insane. Why do they have a designer closet?
But that's the thing. I mean, some celebrities really care about certain things, and that's why what's cool about this list, you'll just see, like, what do they care about? Paris Hilton cares about her dogs. Mike Tyson about his tigers. And Lady Gaga with her bowling alley. And who was it? Oh, wait, Mike Tyson with his bathtub. It's like, I care about my basketball court, or, you can pick or choose. You want a bathtub or a court?
I think she should see a doctor. I think that's what she needs. $325,000 for a dog. I don't even want to say house. It's a crib. It's like a mansion.
MTV Cribs just going to the doghouse. You know what I mean?
Dude, that's nuts. That's nuts.
But, I mean, if that's what you like, if you got the money, props to you.
Speaking of got the money, David Dobrik, one of the, I don't know, he might be he's probably up there in the highest paid YouTubers of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Or is he the top? Or
I don't know if he's the top now. I know, like, internet money is so interesting with TikTok now, YouTube. Obviously, like, most of their money actually comes from sponsors, so it depends. But I know David Dobrik just bought a brand new house. He's got a vlog. If you go follow him on YouTube or whatever, you can check it out. It's $9.5 million. It's in L.A. or on the offskirts of L.A. or whatever. And it's brand new, so he's got some cool things in it.
The one thing, okay, so he's got a basketball court, a pool, Paul, the usual shit that rich people have.
Yeah.
A movie theater, a wine cellar, all that good shit. But let's get down to the nitty gritty here.
Okay.
This dude, David Dobrik, first of all, has an Iron Man suit. I guess he's fucking Iron Man now. He has a legit Iron Man suit that he got into. He's got 3 things that really shocked the fuck out of me. He's got an Iron Man suit. He's got a water fountain that comes out fruit punch. Like, what is that? Isn't it fruit punch or Mountain Dew? Oh, it's Mountain Dew, I think.
No, it's
Fruit
like
punch?
Hawaiian punch. Yeah.
So he's got a water fountain in his house that you can walk over to and Hawaiian punch comes out. Or fruit punch. And then what's the other thing he's got? Oh, he's got a big-ass bed that's bigger than your entire room, Paul.
Yeah, his bed. I told this to Ryan earlier. I thought it was so funny. So his bed is 12 feet by 12 feet. My room's like 9 by 10. So his bed would literally be bigger than my entire bedroom that I grew up in.
So which one of those 3 do we want to address first? Like, that's the question here.
The bed, I don't know why you need a bed that big. You would get swallowed in
I
it.
do want a big bed, though.
I mean,
I roll around a lot when I sleep, so I do want a big-ass bed. And maybe if this podcast pops up, maybe I'll do David Dobrik's bed.
Okay.
And I'll get a bigger one.
I mean, the only person I think that bed is acceptable for is like Hugh Hefner. He's got all his Playboys.
Or Shaq.
Yeah. Or Shaq.
Because he's just big as hell.
He's a big-ass man.
All right, so that's done with. Let's talk about the Iron Man suit. Like, first of all, you probably know because you're the Marvel man. How did he even go about getting that?
The Iron Man suit, I remember he posted this on TikTok months ago, I think in the summer, and he like posted it on TikTok. He's like, yo, look what I just bought. It was $10,000. I think he bought it for his birthday, and he put it on Twitter for Robert Downey Jr. And like Robert Downey Jr. obviously is Iron Man. He commented on it, but I don't know how he got this. It's every little kid's dream.
Is it $10,000?
Yeah, it's a $10,000 Iron Man suit. It's not full. It comes in different pieces and stuff, but it's pretty cool.
So he legit just made his own little childhood dream come true.
I mean, he's like a little kid. If I had money like that, that's something I would buy, right? Like I would buy those little toys. The Hawaiian Punch fountain's pretty cool. The bed, obviously. We're envious about, especially I'm envious about. So in his house, he wants to do. He has like a podcast or whatever. So he built a new podcast studio. So with him and his friends, it's called Views.
In his house.
In his house.
You just have enough room to be like, screw it. Let's build like a little podcast show set right here. Like, how dope. Well, that's what we kind of did. Except for his looks like the Tonight Show.
Yeah, he's got a very nice setup. It looks like he's a talk show host. I mean, and that's what we want to do. So, our set is pretty cool, though.
It is. We're upgrading by the second.
David Dobrik's in his $9.5 million house. We're in my mom's house. That's what we do. David?
Well, we talk about this. It looks like his podcast, real quick before we move on, it looks like, you know how you were talking about how certain podcasts have like a more laid back kind of structure?
Yeah.
Some people are just chill or lay and kick their feet up on the couch.
Yes.
And they'll hold a microphone. So that's kind of looks like kind of the podcast vibe I get from his new podcast.
Yeah.
You know why it's called Views?
I don't. I mean, it probably goes on the base of like YouTube and stuff, like just views.
That makes sense.
That's what I thought. He probably does have a reason for it. But yeah, it's very chill, relaxed. It looks like a Tonight Show or late night show host set where he's got his desk and then he's got a bunch of couches where people go on the couches and they hold a microphone.
All right, let's get away from that rich bitch. Next one, what do we got? John Travolta, Mr. Grease Lightning.
Yeah, John Travolta. Now this is what's really cool. I mean, something that I've thought about is getting my pilot's license. But John Travolta took it to a whole nother...
I ain't getting on that plane. I'll tell you that. I am not getting on that plane. Dude. I'm not getting on that plane unless I know how to skydive. If I know how to skydive, I'll come on your little plane.
That'd be so nice, though. I'd be like, yo, bro, what are you doing today? You want to go? We can go fly around.
And I'll be like, oh, I'm booked for the day. I can't come for that one.
John Travolta, though, took it to an extreme level. He's kind of known for his runways. So I'll just read kind of what this is.
Not like a model runway.
No. He's not walking down his
not
runway.
Not the Victoria's Secret model runway.
But he's got like air runways, like aircraft, plane runways, that kind of thing. So in addition to being, very popular and successful Hollywood actor, John Travolta is also a certified private pilot. He owns a luxury mansion in Florida, which has 2 runways that lead directly to his front door. And on top of this, he also owns 5 of his own aircrafts, which he keeps stored on his property. Travolta has stated that he has the home designed specifically for the jets and so that he could access the entire world at any point.
I mean, Hairspray and Grease, they were all right movies.
But
where the hell did he get this money from? I mean, Wild Hogs didn't do that good in the box office. How does this dude have 5 planes and a runway at his house?
Definitely probably his investments a little bit. But that's pretty cool. I mean, that's a dream too. So, we're limited by our cars.
Let's go. Hairspray 4. I need another plane. Let's get it going.
Add a 3rd runway on there.
Dude, one of those planes have to be called Grease Lightning.
That would be amazing.
It has to.
That's
right?
so smart.
We got to find the names of these. It's one of those planes that John Travolta owns has to be called Grease Lightning. It has to.
But I think it's pretty cool. I've always wanted to get my pilot's license, as I said, and this man can literally get up and fly to anywhere in the world.
That's crazy. Like, you legit just be like, yo, let's go to Paris for dinner tonight, and just get on this plane and fly it. That's one thing I noticed about a lot of famous actors or actresses or even just famous people overall is that a lot of them want to get like their pilot license. Because I was watching Bill Burr on Joe Rogan Experience once again.
Okay.
Learning. Okay, you learn from the greats.
Yeah, we watch the podcast, we listen, and we learn.
Bill Burr just got his helicopter license. So it's like a lot of things, a lot of celebrities like to go and get their pilot license just so they could travel the world and not have to rely on anybody else.
But would you ever want to be able to, like, fly?
No.
You have no
interest personally, yes. Like, if I could just fly as a human being around the world, I would do that.
Like Superman?
Yeah. I mean, if we're talking, hey, if robots are going to come after us, I better be able to fly soon.
You better be able to get your ass off the ground.
All right, so last one is apparently Drizzy Drake is known for his pool parties, Paul. That's what he's known for.
Drake?
Yeah. You want to go to his pool party? Look at that. We have a picture of it. It looks like a dope-ass pool.
We'll pop the picture up here on YouTube. I think pools are amazing. I mean, there's some really cool pools. What's it called? There was a show on like HGTV. It was very limited. I guess it didn't do well. But it was a guy and he went around and he remodeled backyards to make like in LA or Vegas or whatever, and he would go and just make them these luxury backyards.
So apparently Drake's house in LA is the spot for pool parties. So he has waterfalls, an 80-foot water slide. Let's go. He's got statues of women in bikinis and iron torches.
They have statues of that? I feel like he's rich enough to just hire women in bikinis.
He probably has both, to be honest. But he calls it the YOLO Estates. You only live once, Estates.
YOLO is a... Dude, so YOLO, I believe, is like 10 years old, that phrase. Because I remember going into high school.
Oh, yeah, it's old.
We graduated 8th grade in 2011, and we went in high school, and I remember that summer, that was like the phrase everyone was using. It was like, YOLO, baby, YOLO. It was on, you go down to Wildwood, it's on those shirts that they print on the boardwalk.
No, but pools are like Drake's thing. Like, that's his fetish, is a pool. He said that when he was looking for a house, he was looking for the craziest residential pools around. Like, he didn't even care about the house. He's like, whatever's got the craziest pool, I'm buying it. So that's like his little thing. Drake's little fetish is a pool.
Well, maybe he wants those girls in bikinis at his house, right? And he says that's how you get him over.
Drake is single, I believe.
Have you ever heard of that story with Drake and the Golden State Warriors?
I have not. Tell me about it. Did he play for them? Did he win an NBA championship with them?
He did not.
Did he have cigars with them?
He probably did. But he'd
be cool to party with. Sorry.
No, I think he would be cool to party
Especially
with.
he's got this pool.
Yeah.
And those biddies.
But there was a story with him where it was an interview with the coach of the Warriors. What's his name?
He interviewed the coach of the Warriors?
No, there was an interview with the coach.
Steve Kerr.
And basically what happened was he said, he's like this story with Drake where I think they went to Toronto or whatever, and they played the Raptors, and they were in the stadium. And after the game,
he needed a ride home.
Drake was talking to Steph Curry and Clay. And
Splash Brothers.
Yeah, Splash Brothers. And he was talking to them or whatever. And they, the coach basically said, hey, like, you know, they were calling them and were like, oh, like, where are they? We need to get on the plane. Where are you? And he called them. And then Steph is like, hey, like, we're with Drake. Can Drake come on the plane?
Ah.
And he goes, he said that each player has a rule, or the team has a rule that each player is allowed like one guest for the flight during the season, or like two guests. You get two guests on the private plane during the season, and they can join you on the road trip or whatever. So he's like, all right. He's like, his guest is Drake, and he came back and he was on the plane with the team, just like partying after the game and stuff.
Imagine Steph Curry's mom calling him and be like, hey, Steph, can I take the plane with you? I want to go see you out on the away game. Yeah, Mom, I'm really sorry. I used my one pass for Drake. I only get one pass a year, Ma, and I use it on Drake. I mean, can you blame me?
No, you can't. If Drake says, hey, let's go party, you're going to go party.
That's good. So what, we're going to do a little pool party at Drake's, go bowling at Lady Gaga's, go feed the tigers at Tyson's, go get on a plane with Johnny Travolta.
There you go. I think it's pretty cool. I mean, if you had the type of money, might as well spend it the way you want to, because you can't spend it when you're 6 feet in the ground. So
facts. Talking about death.
Talking about death. Next block we got here is pretty cool. So this is all about
It's pretty
girls.
cool.
It's all about girls, right?
Girls. Oh, you used to like that song. Girls. Na, 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 girls.
There's a lot of songs about girls. Not gonna lie. You know, that's what people do. But we're gonna answer some questions here about, you know, maybe what girls want to know. What do girls want to know about guys? And we're gonna answer those highly anticipated questions. Life's a party style.
Yeah. So the first question that girls are dying to know that Life's a Party is going to help them with. We're going to take all the girls out there inside the brain of men. Okay. So it's easier for them to get into relationships.
That's what we do.
It's easier
over
for
here.
them to get a boyfriend or on a date. They know what the man is thinking because why, Paul? Because they listen to Life's a Party podcast.
That's what's going on, man.
So girls ask, number one, why guys are not straightforward with me, Paul? Why aren't they straightforward if they like me or not? Why don't they tell me?
So I think this question in particular is a double standard, because a lot of the girls say, hey, you know, guys aren't straightforward. They don't tell me what they want. You know, they're talking to me for a while, but they don't want a relationship. Dude, I feel like guys get played by girls so much that it is such a double standard thing where they're like, oh, you know, they're not paying attention to me. It's like, dude, if you paid attention, a lot of those quieter guys, those nicer guys aren't going to go, you know, are going to be shy from these girls because they're just, you know, they're like, oh, you know, they always choose the douchebag.
Here's the answer. Guys are wimps. All right? So the guy is stuck, like, they don't tell you they like you because they don't know if you like him.
I agree.
They can act as tough as they want and be like, oh, I'm like so cool, like walk with swagger and everything. But the reason they don't act like they like you is because they don't know if you like him. And if you don't like him, then he's gonna try to play it cool, like, oh, she don't like me, like, oh,
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna give her any attention, like she don't like me. So it's kind of like a tug of war. It's like who's gonna jump in first?
Exactly. So who has the courage to jump, go, make that move?
It's not that they don't like you. It's just that they're scared because they don't think that you like him. And it's probably the same way with a girl.
Dude, I've been
So what's the answer, Paul?
something that
What's the answer?
I've been
Tell
told,
me the answer, Paul.
Jesus, dude. Something I've been told all the time. Something that I've been told all the time is that I am like really hard to read. Like when it comes to girls,
I read you like a book.
they don't know
Good
if
show.
they don't know if I'm interested in them. They don't know if I'm hitting on them. I mean, I had this conversation with my girlfriend Renee, where originally like she thought I was hitting on her. I was like swiping up on her Snapchat story, right?
Right.
And I was just at that point where we just kind of became friends. We just kind of met, and I saw some cool things in our story, and I said, "Oh, this is cool," or like, "Oh," and I would make a funny joke or whatever. And then I heard later on that she was asking her friend, was like, "Hey, like, like what's going on? Like Paul keeps swiping up on my story." And even the girl was like, "Oh, it's just Paul. Like, don't even worry about it. It's just Paul. Like, he's not hitting on you." And I was like, "I wasn't." You know what I mean? Yeah. And then it eventually turned into something more. But I think that's showing, so interesting.
So the bottom line is like, just because they do like you, but they are just scared to tell you. So like I don't want to tell the girls to take an initiative because the guys should take the initiative too.
So the rule here is everyone just speak.
We're not very good at this.
Here's the rule.
We need Dr. Phil.
Here's the rule. Everyone just speak your mind. Tell it as it is. Life is short.
Don't hold anything back because you can't hold anything back when you're what, Paul? 6 feet under.
6 feet under. I was going to say a pussy.
Oh.
I was going to be like, you can't if you're a wimp. You know what I mean?
What's the next question girls are curious
Number
about?
2.
Number 2.
What guys really want and look for in a relationship? What do
I
you
got this one.
Okay, you go.
Guys want someone who just listens to them.
Okay.
Someone who appreciates what guys like. So girls who are needy or high maintenance, I'm not calling you guys out, but I'm saying it's nice to like appreciate what the guy wants to do once in a while. Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah.
I don't even know what the question was. What guys really look in a relationship?
I look for someone who I can like talk to.
Yeah, that was a bad answer. They just look for a best friend.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be my best friend, like do things that I like, I'll do things you like, and we'll just get along as best friends first, and then couple. Then we
Agreed.
can have sex.
So, someone who I could be honest with, and just have a good time with, just like not worry about it, not try to always, worried about if you're crying, if you're upset. It's like, hey, just be honest with me. You're upset. I'll
You're a
figure it out.
crybaby.
If you're, if I'm upset, we'll figure it out. Like, let's just have a good time.
We're just looking for a friend. We just want to BFF for life.
Not play any games.
No
That's
games.
that's what I want. You know what
Next
I mean?
one. What is one quality guys love in a girl?
I like a fun personality, like an outgoing, fun, almost like crackhead type personality.
I hate that word crackhead.
I love the word crackhead.
Yeah, so I think I mixed up my answer. So like someone who listens and like actually cares about your dreams. Like someone who motivates you to be better in life on a daily basis.
Yeah, someone who's very supportive of you.
That's the word I'm looking for. So someone who's supportive in
So
life.
girls, be supportive, be the crackhead in the room.
No crackhead.
I got you.
Don't do crack.
Well, next one. What do you think would be the perfect first date?
That's, some Bud Light.
I think it all
We'll start there.
depends.
We'll start there with a Bud Light, some chicken parm.
Okay.
We'll start there.
I think it depends on the guy in particular. You have a fancier guy, you maybe go out to a fancier restaurant.
Well, you're not calling Bud Light fancy?
Not the fanciest beer. I mean, it depends.
What if I shotgun? Is that a little fancier?
Depends where you're from. If you're from New York, no. If you're from Alabama, maybe. Maybe that's.
So fancy Alabama people drink Bud Light.
That's
Oh,
what
you
do.
fancy, huh? You got a little Bud Light throw back there, kid.
But I love something pretty chill. Definitely make a cool first impression. Do something maybe you guys normally wouldn't do. Find like a cool activity, maybe like axe throwing. I did
Broadway show.
Broadway show.
Shows are always good.
I did a football game as a date. I thought that was really cool and different.
Stay occupied. Like go somewhere where you can do things instead of just sit there staring at each other.
Yeah. So very cliche date, right? Is a movie theater. I don't
They're
understand.
not good dates. They're not good dates.
They're not, because I don't understand. I mean, most people when they do the date, they go out to dinner. And
It's like,
then
do I
the
hold her
movie-
hand? Do I buy her popcorn? Are we just gonna watch some movie? Like you sit next to somebody for 2 hours and don't even talk to them.
No. Like it's not worth
Did
it.
you get to know her on the first date, little Johnny? Nah, we just watched the Avengers. 3 hours.
So not the best first date, but do something different. Surprise her. Have a good time.
All right, so what are 3 things girls do that guys hate? They say everything's fine.
Yeah, that's annoying, man. If people
Everything's not fine. Let's just talk about it.
everything clearly is not fine.
Stop being a little bitch. All right, everything's not fine. Let's air it out here. All right, let's do it. So that's one of them.
Yeah, I think just being honest and like actually just telling it as it is, because the worst thing is, you being upset and then the guy have no clue, and then we're not going to make the situation better at all.
I got another one.
Okay.
They never pick anywhere to eat.
Okay.
Like they're all, like, where do you want to go eat? I don't care.
I feel like that's a weird double standard too, though, because
How's that a double standard?
Because I feel like 95% of the time the guy is asking the girl, "Hey, where do you want to eat?"
And then they never answer.
Yeah, but it's like the girl never, the guy never has to answer that question, which is,
Well, yeah, I have to answer it every time because my girlfriend doesn't answer the question. So here's the thing, though, because she says I don't give an answer because we're gonna go eat wherever you want to eat anyway.
Wow. So she's telling
That's
you
the
as
answer
it is.
I get. She's like, "Why does it matter? We're gonna go wherever you want to go anyway." Like, that's fucking funny.
That's a little fucked up. But that's not fucked up on her. That's fucked up on your side, man.
Yeah, I know.
You should figure out something.
Well, she has an opportunity. You want to go to Taco Bell? We're not going there. We're gonna go to Chick-fil-A. Okay, I'll work on that.
Yeah, I think that's something Ryan's got to work on. Next question we have here. What are signs that clearly indicate that a guy isn't interested in you? So something... I'm trying to
Someone
think.
who doesn't listen. I've said listening already like 5 times. But if a guy doesn't listen to what you're talking about, and you'll be like, "Oh, remember this?" and you're like, "Oh, I don't remember you saying that." And you're like, "Well, Billy, I said it like 3 times." Well, then he obviously doesn't care about you if he's not listening about your daily life or what you're talking to him or venting about to him.
Yeah, if he's not paying attention, I'm trying to think too. The worst thing I hate in the new modern world of dating and social media and phones and stuff like that is the term known as ghosted and ghosting, right?
Ghosting?
Yeah, ghosting.
I know what you're talking about.
So, I mean, you've been in a long-term relationship for a while. Probably, I think, before the term really came to light. But being ghosted, I think, is one of the worst things that someone can do to somebody.
So just not replying, not answering.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you and I went on a date, right? I thought it was pretty good. I mean, maybe, we had some chemistry, whatever. I want to go on a second date, or I just want to hang out with you. Maybe we do. Maybe we go on a second date. Maybe we go on a third date. And then maybe we're talking for a while. And then all of a sudden, you're just not interested, and then you just stop responding to everything I text you. Like, I'm texting you or I call you, and not in a needy way.
So that's like you're just not manning up at that point. Like, you just got to... That's like the coward move. The coward move is to AKA ghost somebody because you don't want to tell them how you actually feel. You just want to run away like a little bitch.
Dude, being ghost or the person who's doing the ghosting is a terrible person. You're an awful person if you think that's okay.
Because then now she's got to, or she or he have to answer the question, "Yo, what happened to Johnny?" Or like,
yeah,
what happened to Sarah? Like, I haven't talked to her. I don't know how our date went. I don't know how she's feeling. I don't know where she is. She could be in Mexico. I don't know where she is.
Yeah, and I'm not just saying this about girls. Guys do this probably just as much, or if not more. Like, I don't know what gender does this more, but the term and the person who does this, you are awful. You are an awful person. Okay. No more ghosting. Tell people straight. If you're not interested, say, "Hey, I'm not interested," and move on with your life, bro.
Whoa, facts. Heavy facts.
Tell them what's up.
Paul's
Why are you
facts.
wasting people's time? Stop wasting my time.
Brand new mics, but we still got the hot takes. What is that? I don't even know what that is. Like, it was popping the finger. You better hope your mom doesn't watch this one.
She doesn't.
Okay. All right, so there's no rules. What's that commercial where there's like the guy takes his shirt off in the middle of the restaurant? There's no rules. All right, we got a couple left. So what is one fashion trend most guys hate to see in a girl? Or not see in a girl. See a girl wear. Sorry.
I'm trying to think. What's like, I don't know what's bad that
I have
girls
something,
wear.
but I don't want anybody to get mad at me. I feel like everyone always gets mad at me on the show.
I think you just feel attacked when you say things.
I have to throw like a disclaimer before I say things just to back myself up.
What's the thing you don't like that girls wear?
I don't want to say it, Paul.
No, just say it, bro. You
So
gotta
like
say it.
when girls do a lot of eyeshadow,
Okay.
like a lot, like it's just like black. The whole thing's just black, or less a lot
or
of it.
colors or
add
whatever
color.
they do, right?
I feel like they're just fine the way they are. Like what? I don't like it.
So here's
Don't hurt me.
Here's the thing with makeup.
No, it's not just. It's just literally just the eyeshadow.
Yeah, well, I mean, if that's something that they like, then it doesn't matter what you like. You know what I mean?
No, this is why I put the disclaimer out.
It doesn't matter. I think, with this thing.
Shouldn't have said it. God damn it.
If you like to wear something or you like to do something, I am one of the biggest advocates for you. Do what the fuck you want to do. It is your life. Do not care about other people.
Because when you're 6 foot under, nothing matters.
It doesn't fucking matter, bro. It doesn't matter. I mean, we had this thing. I don't even know. You know what? There is no trend that I hate.
You can't do that to me.
Because
you can't do that to me.
Can do whatever the hell you want.
You can't do that to me. That's a.
So,
this is what Paul just went ghost on me. That's what he did. Paul went ghost on me. So when he was talking shit on all the ghosts, he went ghost on me.
If you
made me answer the question and proceeded to not answer it.
That's
so
what
therefore I am the asshole, and you get away free because you're the ghost.
That's what. One thing I don't like.
Here we go. Dun, dun, dun,
no, there's nothing.
Oh, are you kidding me? Unreal. You owe me for this.
If you don't know Ryan and I personally, and if you're a viewer of the show from another state, or you don't know us personally, like, appreciate you listening. Thank you for listening. But something that happened to me, why I'm so weird and like mad about this situation, is that you don't see it now, but I cut my hair about a year ago. It's actually getting pretty long, but I cut my hair about a year ago. I had hair. I grew up my hair for 3 years. It was kind of like down past my shoulders. And the biggest thing that pissed me off was everybody. Like, I would come home, but I mean, I only had like a group of people. Like when I was away at school.
What the hell are we getting at here?
I was away at school most of the time, and I would do, I had my long hair, and everybody loved it. I would come home, and I would see people I haven't seen in months. They'd be like, oh, your hair's getting long. You look a lot better with your short hair. Hey, like, I think you should cut your hair. It doesn't look good. It's like, honestly, I don't give a fuck what you think, bro. Like, I don't care. So, ladies, do what the hell you want.
Yeah, wear eyeshadow.
And men, do what the hell you want. Because when you're 6 feet under,
nothing matters.
That's the theme for this show. Do what you want.
All right, last one we got. What do we got, Paul?
Last one. What are your thoughts on sex before marriage?
I'm going to have to go with mandatory. Sex before marriage is mandatory, Paul.
I mean, obviously there's rules with the religion and stuff, but I personally think without religion involved, how are you going to marry someone if you physically don't know if you're attracted to them?
That's the thing. Everyone downplays sex, but sex is a very important part of a relationship.
So one of the best things I heard was like, it was about sex, and it was basically saying how a guy, and it was like, okay, like, would you still marry me, or would you still like to be in this relationship if we stopped having sex? And he was like, I mean, my house is still good if you take away the bathroom, but like, I still need to go to the bathroom. And I was like, that's a really good analogy.
It's literally a pivotal part in marriage. And like, I'm not against the people. Here we go, Ryan the asshole here. I'm not against people who save themselves for marriage, but sex is an important part of life. And you, like, hee ha ha, health class in 6th grade, it's like sex, but it is actually an important part of life and relationships.
It's a part of the physical attraction. If you and that other person vibe on a good level, you have that good relationship, then you're good to go. That's what helps the relationship. It keeps it strong. You know what I mean? You don't need it, but if you took away your toilet, you'd be mad, right?
If you marry someone and their stroke game is not 100, you're gonna be regretting that when you're what, Paul? 6 feet under.
You're gonna be regretting it when you're 100.
When you're 100?
Yeah.
100 years old?
100, yeah, whatever. Or 6 feet under. You're probably saying one or the other, you know?
You're going to regret it in the moment. That's what you're going to regret it. All right. So that was our little segment on what girls want to know about guys. So I think we did not help them at all. Like after playing it back in my head, I'm starting to realize we were zero to no help for them.
I think we were some help. Me more than you, but we're doing good. Third segment here. This is a little bit movie segment that we got going on. And I think this is a really cool idea where we're going to basically choose which movie out of 2 movies is the better one. And what they're going to do is the movies are connected based on one actor who's most likely the lead in that film.
Nice.
So which movie is better based on the actor?
Let's do it, Paul. Let's do it. We've seen all these movies, I think, right?
Yeah. First one, Grease or Pulp Fiction?
All right. I actually haven't seen all these movies.
You've not seen?
I've never seen Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
But we're talking about John Travolta here, the pilot himself.
Yeah, John.
I was gonna say something sexual, and I just have to get away from it.
So
I was gonna say, okay, I'm gonna get. Did you think pilots have sex while they're driving the plane?
not when you're driving, no.
That would be some way to go into the Mile High Club, like having sex while driving the plane.
Yeah, that'd
or
be
flying the plane.
I mean, it's definitely been done before. People are insane.
All right, but sorry. Here we go. What movie? Oh, so Grease or Pulp Fiction. So by default, I'm gonna go with Grease. Grease Lightning, great movie. Great. It's a play too. Was it on Broadway? Grease?
Grease actually originated as a Broadway musical.
Oh, it originated as Broadway.
and then made it a movie musical. Correct.
Pulp Fiction, I know a lot of people like. I don't even know like the premise of the movie. Like, what is it about? Do you know?
It's so I haven't seen it either. It's on the movie list.
So people at home just tell us what Pulp Fiction is. I don't even know what that is.
We started the segment out not too hot, but based on reviews and stuff, it's very different with John Travolta. Obviously, one, Pulp Fiction, he's a lot older. Grease, he's a lot younger. One is a musical. One is more towards like I think not like gangsters, but I know they're.
First of all, Grease got way more buzz than Pulp Fiction. So I think majority and the public is on. You don't think so?
I don't.
Okay.
I think way higher in the film category is Pulp Fiction, like a huge. I mean, Pulp Fiction is one of I know people's best movie of all time, favorite movies. Samuel L. Jackson in the film does an amazing job. John Travolta.
You never seen it.
Yeah, but I know, like that's.
This guy.
I mean, he got like I'm pretty sure he got nominated for it. I know that's one of the roles that led him to more of his success. So.
It also led Travolta to 5 planes at his house.
There you go.
So there you go. Next one. None at the Museum or Dodgeball. Obviously, the legend, Ben Stiller.
So we have seen both of these.
Yes, we have. No, I'm going None at the Museum as better as Dodgeball.
Okay, so
better than Dodgeball. Sorry.
I'm going Dodgeball.
Are you?
I think Night at the Museum is funny. I think it's more family friendly. Dodgeball's a little more edgy, and I think Dodgeball as a comedy is just way funnier.
Well, Dodgeball is that kind of stupid humor. Night at the Museum's more like kids based. I love Night at the Museum. It's
I know you do.
First of all, I get shit on because I say museum.
Okay, museum.
Listen, museum.
Yeah, we hear you. Thank you.
I talk shit on because I say Night at the Museum. But I think it's a great movie. I prefer it over Dodgeball. Dodgeball's a good movie too, but I'm not a big what's his name? The other main character. He's in Couples Retreat.
Yeah, I can't think of his name.
What do you mean?
I can't think of his name. I know who he is too.
This dude Paul is like a film major and never knows like actors or movies or doesn't even know how to say Martin Scorsese.
I just said his like I know how to spell it. I just say the SC more of like a G. I was like Martin Scorsese. I can't even say it now because now you're making me think about it.
We went 1-1 there. I'm going Night at the Museum. Great. How many movies are there? 3 of them?
Night at the Museum. I think two or three. I don't know.
Okay. So next one. What's the next one?
Castaway or Forrest Gump?
Now I'm going bold here. I'm gonna go Castaway. I feel like that's the minority decision on that one.
It is. I think Forrest Gump is better for Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks clearly has a lot of great movies, and I think these are 2 really good ones for him. Both awards contenders and did great for his career.
The reason for my decision is I love the relationship with Tom Hanks and the ball Wilson.
Okay, yes.
Like, that is such a great relationship because he's going psycho and he has nobody there, yet he treats this volleyball, that's a Wilson volleyball, as his best friend. And it's like a really great part of the movie and really wins me over for picking Castaway instead of Forrest Gump.
I mean, if you're on a deserted island and you got nobody else, you got to stay sane a little bit, right? So yeah, Wilson is a really cool addition to that film.
No, that's what does it for me, Paul. It's not an addition.
But
that's the main event. That's the main meal for me.
Forrest Gump is just an awesome film.
Run, Forrest, run. All right, next one. Next one's not an actor or an actress. It's actually 2 sports movies. So Remember the Titans or Miracle, like the Miracle on Ice.
Yes.
U.S. hockey team.
I'm gonna have to go with Miracle.
Oh.
I think Miracle. There's one scene in Miracle specifically, the scene with where he's running them on the ice. And he's just like, again. And I think that is one of the best scenes in a sports movie. He's losing his mind a little bit. He's just so pissed. You see the team go into their extreme. Some of them are going to pass out. It just, like, the stakes get really high.
And then the ending of that scene's so good when he yells out what his name is and where he's from.
Yeah.
And they're all coming together. Dude, that gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. But I'm going to Remember the Titans. Remember the Titans by far. It's the best sports movie. It's up there in top movies of all time.
Okay.
It's great message on race, motivation, and it's really It's got a strong message, and I can recite the whole movie, Paul. Like if we sit there and watch the movie, I can recite every line.
Okay.
That's how many times I've seen it. So I'm going Remember the Titans. You're going Miracle on Ice. You can't go wrong with either or. Two of the top 3 sports movies of all time.
We've been splitting these, actually.
Yeah, we have.
Next one we got here, going with our lady, Jennifer Lawrence.
My lady.
What is better, Hunger Games or Silver Linings Playbook?
I do like both. I'm a big Bradley Cooper guy, so I do like Silver Lining Playbook. But I'm going to have to go Hunger Games, surprisingly. I haven't read the books because I don't read books.
Yeah.
But the movies are good.
I think...
I love the plot of the Hunger Games.
Yes, I agree.
Where they literally put these people in this area and they have to kill each other to survive. Like, it's nuts. And I love it.
I think the plot and the idea of the world behind the Hunger Games is way better than Silver Linings Playbook, right? But because Silver Linings Playbook is in Philadelphia, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I do like that part.
And modern day, but from an acting perspective, story perspective, just like performance-wise, if we're picking performance, Silver Linings Playbook, Jennifer Lawrence.
So here's my thing. I think they maybe dragged out the Hunger Games a little too long.
They did, for sure.
There's only so much story to the Hunger Games.
That last,
like maybe 2 is good, but I don't even know how they have 5.
They have 4 movies.
That's unnecessary. 2's good.
They took the 3rd book and they put it into 2 movies. It was kind of the Harry Potter effect. That's when like Harry Potter, that 7th book, it was so long that they took Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows and they put it into 2 movies. And I think that suffered too. I think that 7th movie, part 1, is just not as good with the rest of the Harry Potter films. But that 8th film was just amazing, so it kind of made up for it. Hunger Games did not do that.
No,
did not
2
at all.
Hunger Games should have cut it off and left it legendary.
Did not do that for me.
Next one, Step Brothers or Anchorman. You know him, you love him. Will Smith.
Will Smith?
I mean, we do have Will Smith on this list. Will Ferrell, sorry.
Go again. Will Ferrell. He's got a great bunch of comedy movies. So Step Brothers or Anchorman? I already know my choice. I'm curious to see what you'll pick.
I want to go Anchorman. I do, but I'm going to go... Step Brothers is a classic. It's probably number 2 funniest movie of all time. Number 1's probably Superbad, and number 2's probably Step Brothers in funniest movies of all time.
So I think...
But Anchorman is so good. Yeah. Another thing, I think they have too many Anchormans, too.
They only have 2.
I thought they have 3. They have 3.
No, they have 2.
Okay. Maybe not too many Anchormans, but I'm going to go with Step Brothers. What about you, Paul?
I think Step Brothers, I think it's more relatable. Like, it's more quotable. It's a little more relatable, just never growing up, that kind of thing. I think there's some scenes, Boats and Hoes are... very, that song's going to just play in my brain.
Puts his nuts on his drum set.
Yeah, that whole scene. So I definitely think it's more like quotable, but from, I think comedy-wise, I think Anchorman, the first one, is just better.
Now, do you say that because maybe Step Brothers is overplayed? Like, you know how a song gets on the radio and it's so overplayed that you can't really appreciate the greatness of the song because it's played so much and everybody knows it.
I do.
So you do think that takes an effect in your picking Anchorman over Step Brothers?
I do. I think Anchorman is more underrated. I think Step Brothers
I have the
is
same
overplayed.
feelings for you. I actually feel like I said I have the same feelings for you.
Oh, thanks, buddy. So I'm going Anchorman. You're going
buddy.
Step Brothers.
Step Brothers. We're splitting all these.
I know.
All right, we got a couple left.
Next one. One of my favorite comedians in his early comedy years.
Oh, you don't like him now?
I don't like his comedy as much. This is Adam Sandler.
Do you not like his comedy in movies, or do you not like his stand-up?
I don't like his stand-up.
Well, yeah, I'm not a big fan of his stand-up either, because he's like more into those songs. I don't like his stand-up either.
But I don't. Some of his newer movies. I mean, I like Grown Ups.
Grown Ups,
and
classic.
I did like Hubie. So I guess
it's the best Halloween movie around, Paul.
But I think there was a part of movies in between there that I really didn't like Don't Mess with the Zohan. The Cobbler was one of them. A few of his.
Well, I said this to you before show. I said when I was looking up these actors and actresses, you see all the movies they've done, and kind of like I want to say like trial and error, where it's like they've had maybe 4 or 5 pop off, but they've done like 20 other movies that I've never even heard of or seen of. So that just goes to show that, I mean, life is truly trial and error.
Yeah, I mean,
like some things are gonna pop off, and you're gonna keep working, and you're gonna put a whole time and effort into one movie, and no one might ever see it. But then once you have some pop off like Step Brothers or Anchorman, then that's what makes it all worth it.
Yeah, Adam Sandler has a huge movie list, like lineup that he's done.
Does.
But the 2 movies that we're comparing here for Adam Sandler are Happy Gilmore and Big Daddy. But the thing with this though, these kind of came out around the same time.
I'm going Happy Gilmore.
I'm going Happy Gilmore
Did you
as well.
see recently on Twitter or I don't know, Instagram, Adam Sandler put a video of him doing the Happy Gilmore golf shot?
Yeah.
And he like shout out Shooter McGavin, and Shooter McGavin replied back to him like, "I'll see you at the 7th hole, Adam Happy. I'll see you at the 9th hole, Happy."
Yeah, so something funny.
It's like bring back good memories of the movie.
Ryan's referring to. So on like Twitter, Instagram, social media, the other week it was the 25th anniversary of Happy Gilmore.
That's what it was.
And we're both huge golf fans. I love that movie. It's one of my favorites.
Are you picking it?
Yeah.
Okay,
I said
both
that.
going Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore. And what happened was for the 25th anniversary, Adam Sandler went, he was playing some golf. He did the Happy Gilmore shot. And the best thing about the video is he hit it. He's like, not lying to you. He goes straight down the middle. And then he looks at the camera and he's like, take that, Shooter. And then he does his famous laugh, which I thought was so funny. Finding out like an hour later, the actor who played Shooter McGavin, as you said, was in his house. And he set up a putting game.
With like a cup.
Yeah. And he putted it. And he's like, work on the short game or whatever. And then he said, how about Happy, come meet me at the 9th hole. And he does a funny laugh too. And he's like, with his fingers.
I love when actors do that. Like play fun and games about old movies and go back into the role.
Something really cool about Marvel real quick that I
how do we know Marvel's going to get worked into this?
Marvel, I
I
think
tried to keep it out, Paul, and you wouldn't let it get kept out. You had to bring it in. You had to reel it in.
I love Marvel Studios, and they have so many films now. They have
Do you love Marvel
They
Studios?
have 23 films, and Endgame just happened, which was kind of their culmination of all their films. And what's really interesting and like awesome about the franchise is all these actors came back and did little cameos in their old roles, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, and it was straight out of nowhere. And it just shows so much respect for that studio and how cool it is, like for the fans and that kind of thing. So I think this relates.
Yeah, it brought back a good memory of Happy Gilmore when we were. I mean, I don't know when it came out, but we were probably like 12, 10.
No.
So it brings out no.
The movie's 25 years old. It came out in 1996.
So we were 6 feet somewhere. I don't know where we weren't underground. I don't think we were 6 feet in our mom's belly. That's where we were. So I guess we weren't allowed. Both going Happy Gilmore, and the last decision we're gonna have to make, Paul.
Okay.
Bradley Cooper. I love Bradley Cooper. He's a great actor.
Yeah.
Oh wait, before we get into it, remember Bradley Cooper and Adam Sandler when Bradley Cooper was not Adam Sandler when Bradley Cooper was on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, and they couldn't stop laughing. They had to figure out how they were gonna have an interview because they had those hats or visors that had the hair coming out the top.
And they had like hair and sunglasses, didn't they?
It's a great watch. So if you've never seen it before, look up on YouTube. Jimmy Fallon, Bradley Cooper laughing. I guess it'll come up on your search. And they literally can't get through the show because they're laughing so hard at the hats and how they look at one another. And Jimmy Fallon starts to get like, Bradley, we have to like pull it together because we have like a time stream we have to go on with our show, and we have to be able to get this in. Like we have other guests, and we have like I have to be able to ask you something about this play. Like you have to give me something. We could cut the rest, but we have to have a little piece. And they just lose their mind laughing the whole time. Definitely go check it out. It's so funny. Because it's good to see people actually laugh during those times.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that
It's so
that
fun.
interview. The whole interview is just them laughing.
And it's the one part is because they have to come back and they have their hats on. So then they took it off because they couldn't keep looking at it. But the problem is when they came back from break, when they left break, they had the hats on. So they can't come back from break without the hats on. The hats have to be on. So they're like, oh shit, we have to have the hats on. How are we going to hold our composure? So it's really funny checking it out on YouTube. It gives me a good laugh. But the two movies we're picking from are The Hangover and A Star is Born. Paul, have you seen them both?
I have seen them both. These are very different as well. Star is Born is more of a dramatic role for Bradley Cooper, which we know he can do. I think he's been nominated for an Academy Award.
He's one of those actors where he has great range.
Yes.
So we see like Will Ferrell, funny guy. He doesn't really have much range.
No.
Bradley Cooper, a lot of range. Leo DiCaprio, a lot of range.
Yeah.
Meryl Streep, a lot of range.
I would love to see Leo do more funny things. I wish I could see him in a comedy.
I agree. Like Ben Stiller, I don't consider him a lot of range.
He's tried to do some stuff. He did like I think it was something The Life of Walter Mitty is a little more serious.
And Adam Sandler just recently showed that he has range with Uncut Gems.
Yeah. Actually, Uncut Gems real quick. I tried to watch that the other week.
Yeah.
I got like 40 minutes in, I turned it off.
It's a very tense movie. Like you have anxiety the whole way through. It's like that movie you're on edge the whole way through. But I thought Adam Sandler did a great job, and it actually showed that he had some range. But Bradley Cooper's one of the best in range. So as you could see, The Hangover, obviously a comedian or not a comedian, a comedy movie, one of the best of all time. And then you have A Star is Born, which is a more serious movie with Lady Gaga. So which one do you prefer, Paul?
I prefer The Hangover. I think,
agree. I'm The Hangover.
but I mean,
I have a hangover. I'm going to have a hangover tomorrow.
ready to get a hangover.
I'm either going to have a hangover tomorrow or I'm going to be 6 feet down.
6 feet under, baby.
Oh, I got messed up. Okay. Well, hopefully I'm not 6 feet under.
Hangover was really cool because no, The Hangover was really cool because I think it elevated his career in a lot of new paths.
All of their careers, basically.
For that movie, Zach Galifianakis was an unknown guy.
Was The Office out before that? Because
Ed Helms. No, I think Ed Helms was on The Office after The Hangover.
See?
There you go, too.
So there you go. You need one movie to pop off and you're a movie star.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're both going Hangover. A Star is Born is a great movie. The soundtrack is amazing. I have it on vinyl. I love the soundtrack.
You have it on vinyl?
Yes.
That's funny.
I love it. I think I saw it in the movie theater twice. Like I went with my mom and I went with my girlfriend.
Yeah, I've seen it, and I saw it in the movie theater. I really liked it.
The soundtrack is amazing. It's funny because Bradley Cooper actually sings in the movie. Oh,
Yeah.
he did the live performance. Remember that got a lot of controversy because there was a whole
There was
the
a lot of-
paparazzi. There was a lot of talk that that Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga were like.
There was a lot of sexual tension on stage.
Yeah.
And there's always a joke. It's like, why don't you guys kiss already? Or like, oh, why don't you guys get a room?
And it's like while Bradley Cooper's wife's in the front row, he's getting real intimate with Lady Gaga, which was weird. Like it was weird for me to watch.
But they're both actors. It's a performance.
Are they acting though, or are they getting it on behind scenes? You know,
We don't know. But that
Well, I wanna know.
that concludes our segment of which movie's better. We chose, what did we choose? Grease for John Travolta. We split Night at the Museum and Dodgeball for Ben Stiller. Castaway, Forrest Gump. We also split Remember the Titans or Miracle for a sports movie. Hunger Games, Silver Linings Playbook. We split like a lot of these.
Step Brothers and Anchorman
Wow. Happy Gilmore we did agree on.
and The Hangover.
And The Hangover. So, our movie taste pretty similar, but
Let us know in the comments what you think.
Yeah.
Which movie you like better? Who's right? Who's wrong? Should we see Pulp Fiction?
I think we should. I think we need to see Pulp Fiction. But that concludes our show here today. Hopefully you enjoyed. Thanks for sticking with us the whole way. Continue to follow us. If you're finding us on YouTube for the first time, hit that subscribe button.
Subscribe, baby. Subscribe.
We're trying to get our YouTube followers up. Ryan's been pushing that, so that's pretty fun. Our Instagram, TikTok is at Life's a Party Pod. TikTok, we're trying to get to 50,000 followers. That's really exciting.
Then around the corner, 100K.
100K is definitely our next goal that we're doing. So we're doing good things here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining us, baby. And as always,
Music. Take us out. Peace.